Okay. Make sure here we got all the buttons set up for streaming today. Continuing my experiment here with streaming to both YouTube and Steam. Well, it's been an interesting couple weeks. I was traveling for a week, so I didn't get a ton of development on the actual project done. But it's been an interesting week working, kind of thinking about marketing, thinking about... Hey, next guy. Thanks for joining. That was quick. Yeah, it's been interesting thinking about marketing and all that kind of stuff, and I spent some time working on that. Toyed around with I don't know. One of the things I saw there was one of the things I ran into was the importance of a mailing list. And I think a lot of people have a lot of ideas about marketing, and I think a lot of them basically boil down to be better at social media. But I did find this, I guess it was the GDC talk on the value of email versus other ways of reaching clients. And, it's an interesting idea. One of the things I was playing around with, and one of the things I've wanted to do for a while, it was to be able to easily give out Steam codes. And my last game really did not sell. Really, really did not sell. And that seems like a pretty easy thing to give away, right? You see all these newsletter kind of things. People like, hey, give us your email address and we'll send you this thing. So I thought, hey, it could be a good idea to hand out Steam keys. And so I spent some time working on some Google app scripts to be able to do that. I was pretty happy with that. So now I can send out, so anybody who joins the email list now will automatically get an email with a link to a Steam key for my last game. I think it's pretty clever. I was pretty happy with that. Something I don't know why it's not built into more of those email services, why I had to kind of do this runaround to do things, but that was kind of an interesting thing. Spent a couple of days this week working on that. Then also been working on some documents for a publisher. I still, lots of optimistic skepticism about the idea of a publisher. Had one reach out to me, talked to them, felt pretty good about it. Didn't send up any red flags. They have not accepted me. There's a lot of hoops to still jump through there, but I was putting together some documents for them, which I think was also really good in terms of kind of taking another pass at what I want it to look like, right? I had this vision, did some planning, spent a bunch of time building systems. Now we're starting to build content. And I think that time again of circling back to that design, I was surprised how useful that was. Something I made my students do a lot, but I did planning, but I never came back to it. So anyways, I found that really interesting. So that's kind of what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. Just thinking about marketing, working on the documents for the potential publisher, and then that Steam key giveaway. I don't know. If nothing else, I'm learning, and that's really what this is about, right? You learn, you get a little bit better. Even if I get 12 more people to sign up for that newsletter, playing around with the Google app scripts, figuring out how that works was pretty valuable. So I'm happy with it. Yep. Next car. Yeah. These guys claim to be kind of more of a partner instead of just a pure publisher. So they have some game producers this is what I've been told, right? We have to see what the contract and what it actually looks like. Some producers there, they've got some UI, some, or not UI, UX kind of people, some QA people looking to help with building the trailer, look to help building up the Steam page, make that look more professional. So it really seems like they were actually offering quite a bit. Their whole thing was basically like, we can take care of almost everything. You just go make the game. We'll see. And I, doing some snooping on Steam for the other games that they've published, those games are doing better than I would expect this game to do on my own. So we'll see. Optimistic, skepticism is kind of the best that I'm at. Yeah, right. I mean, the fact that they like wanted to do the trailer, I was like, oh, if you guys actually want to do this, I don't know what that looks like, right? I feel like a lot of that footage I'm gonna have to get together, but the trailer is a lot of work. So if they're doing all that, if they want to go do new Steam art, Steam page art, that's fantastic. So we'll see. I'm hoping to have the kind of a one pager. I printed out a very early copy to see what it looks like. Hoping to have that sent off to them here around this weekend, and we'll see where we go from there. Hopefully that's what they were looking for. They've already played a demo. They've already seen that. So we'll see what happens. All right. What I want to do today, I was trying to think about what makes something vaguely visual to watch on a stream. I want to revisit the tech tree here and make it suck less, make it feel better, make it look better, all those kinds of things. So I've still got this old button up here that opens up the tech tree. And right now it doesn't even show up because I have a clip mask on it right now. So let's turn that off so folks can actually see what this looks like. So there's our tech tree. So this is just kind of an early prototype. You can see I've got some really slow lerping going on here. We've got a little bit of functionality here, right? We've got a little bit of info that's getting popped up here, but it doesn't match the UI style of what we've got going on. We clearly got some colors going on here that are not right. But these are all these upgrades. All these upgrades correspond to scriptable objects. Ooh, let me go to full screen here. All of these upgrades correspond to scriptable objects, and this tech tree is put together procedurally. So every time you run it, you get a slightly different tech tree based on the seed for the world, which I really like. I mean, I think there's some big pitfalls with procedural generation, and certainly a tech tree, there could be some big risks in that, getting in the wrong order. But what I've done so far, and you can kind of see this color coding, you can see it over here in the inspector as well. Man, that lerping is slow and annoying. The color coding is kind of these tiers. What tier upgrade are you? And so what this does, so the white here is kind of our tier 1 or tier 0. And then we go to green, blue, pink, orange, and yellow. And what the code does is make sure that tier 2 is always attached to a tier 1. Tier 3 is always attached to a tier 2. So I can kind of group it that way to make sure that really important basic upgrades are almost always going to be available relatively early. And then the way this works, I don't actually have a lot of research points. So I've got this one headquarter unlocked. I'm going to change some of this. These were some early prototypes. And then as I unlock other ones, I can then unlock the adjacent upgrade as well. So I can't, I shouldn't be able to come up here. I can't unlock this one. I can't unlock any of those, but I should be able to unlock that one there. And that way kind of gives the user a little bit of choice as to what they want to go to. Hopefully add some variety to each playthrough. Yeah, exactly, Nexar. Yeah, shuffling the deck a little bit. It's going to take some thought, but to make sure that I get things in the right places. You can see like I've duplicated things, like there's a farm and what have you. I'm not too worried about the content of the tech tree today, but I want to make this suck less. This is just, I mean, the dragging's okay. That works okay. The zooming is pretty horrible. It just needs some more polish. It just needs a bit more polish. I definitely got to get rid of this black color. I know what I did there, but so let's fix that first. Here is my upgrade prefab. So that's this, and I'm just going to set that unlock color to fully white. I want to see here. Do we actually have... It's been a long time since I've looked at this. Oh, maybe we're actually putting a clip mask on. Am I planning to group them by buildings? I haven't got that far, to be honest. Exactly the groupings. Probably what I'll be doing is just kind of thinking of them more in terms of like how advanced is that. So for example, let's see where it is. Like I've got the missile silo, which is like the ICBM, right? This is going to be way out there. That's very powerful. We're going to make sure that it's farther out on the tech tree. Whereas smaller upgrades will be closer. And so I guess I'll probably be grouping them. I'll probably be putting them roughly in the tier or in the order that I think they become useful. So like all the core buildings will probably be maybe already unlocked for you, or certainly in that beginning tier. Actually, I think all the core buildings will probably already be unlocked because you're going to need them. But things like the barracks or the double tower or whatever, those things you're going to need to unlock them. Whereas things like here, like the cargo shuttle, hey, this will increase the movement range of that cargo shuttle by 1. That's great. It's going to all be. So I haven't really thought through that, and that's kind of the stage where I'm at right now with the game. Is I've got the systems. I'm pretty confident that the genre can be fun, but now it's just a matter of like getting that content in there, getting it so that it's fun and it works. All right. So one thing I wanted to check out, this clip mask here, I just kind of want to figure out what is going on here. Okay, so we're actually altering that color. I wanted to find out what, oh, there we are. Okay, so this is actually the color that we're modifying. We're not using a clip mask, which is interesting. That's fine. With Nova, the clip mask is a way to alter the transparency, the opacity of an entire object and all of its children. And you can see here that really needs to happen because I can't really distinguish between these two here. The outline here, its alpha is turned all the way up. This one, on the other hand, the outline, the alpha is turned down, but the insides aren't changed any. And that's not great. So let's figure that out. But first, actually, I'm kind of rambling today. I don't know why. I want to figure out why when I turn this clip mask on, it all disappears. And I think it's because this body is turned off. because the size of this. Not sure why I'm not seeing this. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've created this system, and so I need to figure out what all is going on. Oh, okay. So that there is that it? There we go. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, that makes me feel better. I just have some settings wrong. Okay, so there we go. Our clip mask is back on. Is that really what we want? Let's think about that here. So I want to shrink. Nope. And broke everything. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit the children because they're not. Because they're not lined up in a row. So that's not going to work. Okay. Well, we're answering questions here. I'm figuring things out here again. So what I want to do, I'm going to get rid of this clip mask. Just doesn't need to be there. Yeah, we're going to remove that. Tech tree relies on it. All right. Why do you rely on it? Oh, the pop-up window does. Son of a. I really want to make this the pop-up window. So let's do that. I don't know why I don't have that done anyways. I think that's just because I probably inherited or probably just started with a rough draft and then, oh, except for the, let's find out here. Let's find out. Let's break some stuff and see what happens. All right, we're going to paste that over. We're going to turn that off. That is still going to be draggable. We are still going to zoom, but we're going to get rid of this clip mask. No, we got to get rid of. We can just turn that clip mask off. That's fine. Okay, so that's another issue. It was just an old system where we were turning objects on and off. That's good. Well, let's find out what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, now I'm blocked. Oh, geez. right, so I definitely have some weird things going on here that I don't like. Why are we... Why are we behaving weirdly like that? Okay, that's my canvas. Why is this? I'm very confused as to why this is appearing this way. Okay, why is the clip mask smaller than the object itself? Okay, so this is probably some of what I had it engineered some funny ways. Oi, oi, oi. Let's see here. Get over here on the Steam chat page in case anybody on Steam's got a comment. All right. Why is it behaving so strangely? I don't actually understand. Oh, you know what? It might have something to do. Yes, it does. It has something to do with the rotation. That's what it is. So I was looking to figure out how to fix this. Let's see. Let's see here. So one of the issues I have right now is that my hex library, so you can either have hexagons with like the pointy part going up or a flat side going up. And I didn't even think about it because in my world, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter whether they're pointy or not because it's all about camera angles. But when I open up my tech tree, oh, that is really not a pleasant experience. I end up with the wrong type of coordinates. Oh man, this is a bigger mess than I expected it to be. Wow. And so what I did to get around that was simply rotate everything 90 degrees, set it up as is. But that, as a result, is screwing around with the clip masks. Yep. And of course, now, frustrating. Let's stick stuff on here. Okay. We're just going to undo a bunch of stuff. I'm understanding more of why I did things the way I did. So we're going to fix things. We're going to remove that clip mask there. And let's take a look. I want to take a look at my tiles in the game right now. I want to see what those look like. And are they pointy up? Or are they not pointy up? Let's see here. Well, Abdu, part of the complexity. Yeah, see there we got pointy up, which is the bummer. Son of a... Part of the complexity is I just made this system a while ago. So let's take a quick look here. Let's look. Let's see. Red Blob Games is this where I got a lot of my hex stuff from. Let's see here if they've got a nice solution to rotate from pointy to flats. Conversions. So this is what we're talking about here. We just need to rotate. I just did it wrong. I knew this was a problem, but I was thinking it was an easier solution than what it is. All right, let's go. All right, let's see here if we can do hex grid pointy to flat. I mean, these guys are quickly doing it. So there is a way, there's got to be a way to do it. And my hex stuff is a little rusty. Okay, does he have... Because the pointy definitely, or the flat top works better for the tech tree. Hey Adam, thanks for joining. Abdu, how much time do I spend on the game per day? It depends on the day. I probably get somewhere between 5 and 10 hours a week to spend on the game. I was saying in the beginning of the stream here, I've spent a lot of the time this week thinking about, or last couple of weeks, I was traveling last week for work, and spending a lot of that time watching videos on marketing and kind of thinking about that and putting together some documents for a potential publisher. So sometimes I get to spend time in Unity. Sometimes I have to spend time doing other stuff. Next car, where you're saying Chad had a good answer. Did I miss? It's Chad the Red Blob Games. Oh, Chad GPT. Oh, there we go. All right, let's figure it out. Shift the orientation of the hexagons by 30 degrees in a counterclockwise direction. This means you'll essentially rotate each hexagon upward, adjust the coordinates of each hexagon to match the new orientation. The specific coordinate system you use, maybe scale if needed. But typically in a flat, you might use a pair of coordinates Q. Okay, yep. Depending on the scaling of your I'm just trying to visualize exactly what that. The problem is, it's not just a matter of. Like they fundamentally move in a different. Let's see here if I can see where we are. I was kind of hoping that I could find an easy fix for this. Let's see. Okay, there's a where final sort, get location. All right, let's just follow the get location. Is there a way here? Let's see if we look at this. So it's kind of a, it's not just it's a rotation and a, rotation and a translation. Or is it actually just a rotation around the 0, 0 based on their distance? I'll try that next car, see if that gets ChatGPT a little bit better. And the reason I want to rotate them is because so I can get them to look good. Now there we go. There we got some from that look a little bit more helpful. The reason I want to rotate them is because I've got it looking okay, but whether it's a deficiency of Nova UI or just UIs in general, it's the way like a clip mask is getting calculated is wrong. It's calculating the clip mask based on the unrotated version, and it's just messing up my ability to control it well. And so what I have now is a pretty hacky solution that frankly just doesn't really allow for modification very well, and it's fragile. All right, let's see here. Change the coordinate from pointy to hex. Okay, rotate each one 30 degrees. Great, so the flat is update the coordinate system used in your library. Replace the QR with coordinates, XY coordinates you can use. Okay. So let's look at what happened. Let's see if that makes sense in our context here. So we're gonna okay. So that's the no, we got to do this a different way. Okay, we're going to unrotate this parent object. So this is the parent object where all the little hexagon tiles that get dropped into. Let's open that up, turn that on. Okay, so here's what we have. What we really, so our tiles are coming in correct, but we're calculating the wrong positions, because like what I need is this guy to be here and this guy to be here. That's what I need to have happen. So I don't need to rotate the guys. They're already in the correct order, but I need to somehow do that. Because if I rotate all of those guys, let's see what. So if I rotate those guys 90 degrees, then they, roughly fit together. It's interesting that they say rotate them 30 degrees. Doesn't seem to be quite the right amount. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Right. Just doing my math wrong there. Okay, so that's where we start. We want to do another 30 degrees. Great. Okay. Let's figure out where. I'm just trying to make sure I know. Set up, upgrade. Okay, so here's where we're actually doing the positioning. Oh, and there's so much back and forth. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm getting some sort of scaled position. I'm swapping the X and Y. We're converting to hex 3. We're converting back to vector 3 because that's what we need. We swap the Y and the Z back again. Oh, that is a freaking mess. All right, let's figure out where we are instantiating these and setting them up. Okay, so there we're setting. Okay, here is where we are actually instantiating them. Okay, location to vectors. Okay, so location's coming in. Okay, so we're coming in here. We're adding the upgrade tile. The position's coming in there. Jeez, I forgot how glad I was when I actually got done with the hex library. Okay, so this location's coming in with the pointy version, and I need to somehow rotate that one. So let's see what ChatGPT had to say about. You can replace the Q coordinates with. All right, well, let's try that. I'm gonna pop that onto the other screen. Let's just see if that works. And that position is getting passed in there. So we're just gonna do it here. Position is gonna be new vector 3, location Q. We are not moving in the Y, or we are not moving in the Z. And here we're going to do location R plus location Q divided by 2. And then I need to do this scaling. I'm pretty sure I need to do this scaling here. So they actually fit in the. All right, so we're going to set that actual position, and then okay. Let's see if ChatGPT managed to pull one out of its butt. I'm going to be a little surprised if that works that easily. It would be great if it did. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn this thing on. Okay, I mean, it did something. I mean, it's vaguely promising. Our scaling is not correct. So let's take a look at what. I mean, that is vaguely. So here's our center one, right? Like that just isn't, it's X coordinate. It needs to be, it actually needs to be way out like that. This might just actually just break the whole damn thing, because that's got to connect it like that, and so that's not actually doing that correctly. Yeah, CodeMonkey, I'm sure he has a video. The issue here is I've got a hex grid library. It's just rotated, and so I need to figure out how to rotate these things. That is the real issue here. So let's find out what happens if I don't put that scaling in. Let's leave that off. And I'm not convinced that's actually generated a rotation. Yeah. Yeah, the library's here. It's just that up until now, it didn't matter which way my things were. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, so that, I mean, you know, it's something. So I think what we've got here. Okay, so we're in pointy land here, and we need to so let's location to vector 3. This is what we need. We need a different way to convert to vector 3 is what we really need. So what I need to figure out is, okay, so here, so it's these basis vectors that I need. Okay, so let's search for basis vectors. Okay, here we go, basis vectors. Hex to pixel. So I want flat top. Okay, let's see. So here, let's just convince ourselves here. So let's go to these bases here. Shrink that down a little bit. And what I should have there is my Q bases, which is pixel coordinate is the Q basis times Q. Okay, so I'm pointing at the screen. Q times Q basis plus R times R basis. Great. Okay, so that's to that. Right. The R basis, the Q basis is that. So again, let's make sure we've got that. So yeah, there's my Q basis, there's my R basis. Yes. Okay. Let's see if we can make this happen. Let's split it like this. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. So we're going to do public static read only vector 3 Q basis flat equals new vector. And this Q basis is 1.5, 0, 0, like that. Public static read only vector 3 R basis flat equals new vector 3. Does that make sense? Q basis. Oh wait, I missed a. Like these are too simple. Square root of 3 is, so I got square root of 3 divided by 2, and this one becomes 0, square root of 3, and 0. All right, so 2 vector 3. How ugly can it get? Vector, okay, vector 3, 2, vector 3 flat. And then I think I still have the same location Q times Q basis plus location R times R basis flat. Let's make sure we get the right bases in there. Oh, next car, yeah. Oh, yeah, you might have found the same kind of thing. All right, let's see if that works. Because really, we should be able to flip-flop back and forth a lot easier than what appears to be happening. So position equals location 2 vector. Did I not 2 vector? Why didn't that show up? Okay. All right, where the hell did I put that? Did I put that? Oh, geez. Let's keep the naming. Okay. Make it a little bit uglier, but we'll keep it in the same place. And then back here to hex through. Why aren't you? Oh, yes. Forgot to add that in there to vector 3 flat. All right, well, let's try this scaling thing again, because I know there has to be some scaling in there. That is just okay. I know this is really ugly. We're leaving things ugly for now. Let's see if that, by some miracle, what I'm hoping right now is that the scaling might be wrong, but that our general orientation is correct. That we've somehow managed to rotate our coordinates. That's awesome. That's fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Yeah. Sweet. I thought there had to be some kind of nice simple conversion factor. Nice simple conversion. There we go. I'm assuming I haven't been muted the entire time and somebody just told me that. What? I must have hit a hotkey or something. I have no idea. I didn't hit the mute button. There's got to be a hotkey in there somewhere. Go figure. Magic hotkeys. All right. Let's. Okay. So now the next chore is making this not let's make this thing not totally suck. Because now I can move things back around, I think, the way I wanted them to be. So let's see if we can do that. First off, let's go, we're gonna copy component, we're gonna drop it over here. We're gonna do some remodeling here because the way this is being done is just kind of silly at the moment. We're gonna turn this one off. That's like that, that's fine. Well, now I don't need this goofy ass parent. I still need a parent because I need to be able to drag and zoom. But okay, let's just find out what happened. Let's see if we're actually play nice now. Yeah, no idea what happened to the muting. It's got to be some hotkey. Like, the actual mute button is not within finger's reach. I don't. Well, that didn't turn on. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. I don't know what is it? Why is it? I don't know why it's updating so. That's weird. That's interesting that clip mask is giving it is having issues with it. Huh. Is it the well, that definitely doesn't work. Blind Seeker's Oath. Hey there. Welcome to the channel. It's perfectly fine if you don't know who I am. All right. We got to figure out a better way to do this, like scrolling and the zooming for sure. Right now the zooming is working by moving forwards and backwards, which just feels really not the right way to do it. Let's turn off our clip masks. I want to see here, if I scale this, I guess the nice part about the zooming is that it actually zooms into the thing that I want it to. So let's say if I'm looking like here, like it zooms into, I'd rather do the scaling even looks janky. The other issue, so one of the issues here why I need to have movement and scrolling is I can't, well, I'm not, I guess. I'm not confining the size of the tech tree here. I'm not entirely sure I could do that 100% confidently. Right now, I'm pretty sure my algorithm will make sure that all of the upgrades can get placed because we place them in order of their tier. Maybe I'll work on that one later. That might be a little bit more of a fiddly bug. What I'd like to do instead here, we'll leave that a little janky. I'm gonna whole system is just it was all set up on that janky ass system. I don't like. Okay, so one issue I have here with the setup that I currently have. So I've made a bunch of additions since I first did this tech tree. The tech tree was a system that I built, I don't know, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago. And I've done a lot of changes to my UI since then. One of those things is how windows get turned on and off. And so right now, the window is turned on, but its opacity is set to 0, so you can't see it, but I can't click through it. And that is a bit of a problem. So let's look at our input manager. So with Nova, you have to, they don't have a way to, a built-in attribute to kind of like let clicks go through it. You've got to define that on your own, which is one of the powerful things about Nova. You really have access to a lot of the functionality on your own. But the problem here is we're kind of two parents. So what I'm looking for here is that I'm looking for this clip mask. If I can find one on the parent, then we return. I thought this would make for an interesting stream, but maybe it really doesn't because it's so janky at this point. It's so janky and needs so much work. That's the way game development works. What I'm thinking about here, so I've got this try get component in parent. What I kind of need, and I'm a little hesitant to do it because it's a lot of calls, is the could do a recursive thing. So I think what's happening here is in my tech tree, it's this parent object that has the clip mask on it, which is fine. But then you have another object and then the things you're going to actually be clicking on. And so maybe I just need to like, can I just turn off interactable? No. So it's still detecting this here. I wish they had a way of like, they have an obscure drags, but they don't have a blocks raycast is what they really need here. Here you go, Blind Seeker's Oath. So the issue is this tech tree, although you can't see it, you can't see it because the, let's see, why can't you see it? You can't see it because the opacity is set to 0, but with the opacity set to 0, it's still blocking the raycasts to other UI objects. And so what I've got here is a bunch of checks here. Hey, a bunch of checks to see if like, hey, should that object block any raycasts? And so we're kind of manually controlling these things. Yeah, I can disable the tech tree, which is what I'm doing right now. The issue is that when I first built the tech tree, I was just turning windows on and off. And since then, I've made it a little bit more sophisticated, and I'd like to get this tech tree to work on with the same system. I mean, I guess I mean, I can just keep doing, which is a little, I mean, you're not going to like me do that, are you? Oh, if we're going to make it ugly, we'll just really go for it and make it ugly. Yep. All right, let's see if that fixes it. That's my theory right now. It took me a while to get all those conditions set up so that I was actually ignoring the things that I wanted to. And yeah, I wish they had a flag that was just like, oh no, it's not working. That was not sufficient. Oh, because what we could be hitting, oh geez, because this just goes so deep. So we could be hitting all of these things. Jeez. All right, let's try a. Should we try a little bit of a? Where is our class? Okay. Let's see. Try get components recur in parent recursive. Let's see if we can do recursive. Okay. So, this is, oh, that's a, okay. Let's do it. If this works, maybe we'll stick in a helper function, make it a static function. So, all right. So first thing we're going to do, clip mask. We're just going to do clip mask equals null. Okay. So, actually, that doesn't really make sense. Let's try it this way. If transform try get component out clip mask. Okay. Does this make sense what I'm trying to do? I don't know if it does. Oh, we need to return that. I'm like, something's not right here. All right, cool. All right. Return true. Else return, actually, let's see. Else if transform parent exists, we're going to return try get recursive with transform parent. Like so. Ooh. Else clip mask equals null, return false. Yeah. Let's see here. So in theory, we should be able to get rid of all that. If hits to populate UI block transform. Okay, so it's not an extension method, so it's gonna get a little try get component. Yeah. What did I do? out clip mask. Why don't you like that? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Object reference is required for non-static. Did I stick this? No. Oh, because yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. I mean, the function name is really, really too long, but let's see if it works. I mean, in some ways, it's a. I wonder if it's finding that one. Ah, son of a. I think I know what's happening. I really wish YouTube would get rid of this little emoji thing. It always blocks like the last word of what you guys are saying. Should the intersection with the map stop when the UI is open? Yes, it should. It should get blocked by the when the tech tree is open. What are we getting blocked by now? Okay, the button doesn't have anything to do with it. Did I write that in a funny way? Okay, we check for on the thing that's coming in. We return. Oh, and I didn't. Nope, that should work. Clip mask. And then we send the parent in. Yeah, is Booleans for what's open? Like, the problem is like there's two like it hits every UI block that's on there. Is I think is part of the problem. Why is this such a problem right now? This is frustrating to me. This is like the biggest thing that I've seen that I wish Nova had that UGUI has. UGUI's got the canvas group. It just there's a blocks raycast button. It just works. All right, let's try. Okay, I don't think we broke anything. Let's see if anything else. Like, I think this all works, right? So I can still like everything still works. I haven't broken anything. So in some senses, that's not a bad improvement, other than the naming of that. What we could do is the other thing we could do. Okay, so the other thing we could do is parent window pop up open. I'm really going for the naming here today. Okay, let's try. So game object, game object. All right. So what we're gonna do here. So what I can do here, and maybe blind seekers, if this is kind of what you were talking about. So what I have is these window pop-ups, and I have this instance is open. But that's an instance. Let me make sure that I'm actually. Yeah, that. I'm just now all of a sudden having doubts as to how that Boolean's actually working. Man, I expected today's stream to be a little bit of a struggle bus. I did not expect it to be, not expect to get run over by the struggle bus. Okay, it's okay. There is a static one, but we're looking for instances. Okay, particularly the instance is open. Right, brain is farting. Okay, so what we want to do is, I think, recursively go back through and see, hey, whatever we hit, we're going to look for a window pop up. If we find one and it's open, then we did hit something. So what we're going to do is we're going to do if game object try get component. Do we not have try get component in? Oh, wait, okay. That's why I was using transforms before. Okay, let's do transform. Try get component in. Okay, try get component. And I guess I didn't need the parent one. Try get component out window pop up window. Okay, if that's true, if we're able to find it, we return window is instance is open. Else if transform parent exists, we're going to return window pop-up open transform parent. Else return false. I hate doing all these things every time I click, but hey. Window pop-up open. So we're doing hits to populate, because we're doing this a lot of times too. Okay, so if we find this window pop-up is true, we return. I don't love the logic of that. I think I could have built that one a little bit smarter. My function has too many gets. Yeah, it does. But at some level, you have to check for all of these conditions. It might make sense to kind of unify things. It might make sense to unify things into it, and so that. But I don't know how else you would do it. You still have to like. You still have to like check along the hierarchy for a component, see if that component exists, and see if the value is set to something. So. This isn't going to, okay, that logic's not going to work, actually. Yeah, that logic's not going to work because if we don't find this pop-up window, no, I guess okay, maybe that'll work. So if we find one where the instance is open, we're returning. The logic is convoluted. I don't like it. Let's see if it works. Oh, it literally says try get. Nice. Well, I wanted to get the function name as long as possible. Duh. That's a good catch. Yeah, that's still not working. Let's see what we're hitting. There's a reason I left that line in there. This has been a challenge for quite some time. All right, so we're not actually even. No, we do need to actually attach. Okay, we're not hitting that. All right, let's see what we're actually. Okay, we hit 3 things. Nova canvas, tree background, and tech tree. Okay. So that should, why is this not, okay, so false, we're returning false, we're not over. All right, now I'm really confused. Okay, now we hit 10 things. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Tech tree background, label, close, close. Oh yeah, okay, we hit the, yeah, okay. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. Oh, geez. It's an order of operations issue. Oh, I've been approaching this all ass backwards. So what's happening? So what I'm doing wrong is I'm finding. So I'm not. I was thinking I was getting blocked by the tech tree, which I am not. Which makes sense. Like I couldn't figure out why I was getting blocked by it. It's not that I'm getting blocked by it. It's that I'm seeing it, saying, "Hey, I shouldn't get blocked by this," and returning that I'm not on top of anything. So what I'm not doing is that I'm not iterating all the way through this list of things that I hit. That is the problem. Whoa. Okay. So let's think about the logic here. Okay, so this one's good. If we hit a window that's open, we hit something 100%. But here, this is the one that's broken. This is the thing that's breaking right now with, oh geez, with the tent. So what we really do want to do, I like this return because then I'm done. I kick out of this for loop. But really, I think what we want to do is say, hey, if it's greater than 0, we don't want to return. We want to continue. And let's fix this for Adam. So I'm only getting once. Next, I don't know if it has a debug view. That would really be a nice thing. I'm not aware of it. All right, moment of truth. Can I click on the close button? Okay, well, I'm getting farther. I'm getting different results. Okay, I'm clicking on the tech tree. Why are you... I shouldn't be clicking on you at all. Oh, that's the... All right, so I'm getting the hex outline, hex outline. Okay, so those are my upgrades. None of those, I shouldn't be hitting any of those. These are all tech tree things. Well, crud. Not really what I wanted to be doing today. I guess this is part of the debugging process of getting this tech tree working. I mean, we rotated the hexagons. That's huge. That's really a big thing. And this is a full screen UI, which is the only one I have, and it's probably why I haven't caught this bug before. So let's think through the logic here. All right, so if it's active in the hierarchy, we just if it's not active in the hierarchy, we just continue. That should. Okay, so that takes care of things that are actually turned off. Then we look to see if the window. Because we're getting all the way down here, which is where we're printing the message. So here, if the window is open, we stop, it's true. So I'm pretty sure it is this that is failing. It's this checking the clip mask that is failing. Oh, not necessarily, is it? Because I'm no longer returning when I hit that thing. Oh, this is a tricky. I don't like this. Let's see here. In your next hour. Like Blind Seekers was suggesting, does Nova have the option to disable the window game object when it's inactive? I don't know if UGUI still does that, but UGUI has is a canvas group that blocks raycasts, and or you can toggle whether it blocks raycasts or not, and so that way you can have a UI object on or off, and it does not register. And I'm wondering if that's kind of what I need to create. I have this Nova canvas object, which I've used, and it's a little janky. should have that on there. We already. Why aren't you? Oh, Nova Group. Sorry, not Nova. So let's try that. Let's try that as a solution, because that Nova Group is a little janky, but let's try. We'll try a. Let's try a little block UI raycast. Let's try this, because if I can put that on the parent object, we can recursively look for that in the parent object. If we find it, then the problem is even when we hit that, we don't know if we just ignore that object again. I mean, I was thinking about this before the stream of whether I needed to continue. I love it when Visual Studio decides to do that. Like, we're just going to open another instance here and hope you figure out which one is which. Go, okay. So annoyed. So annoyed. What are you doing? Yes. All right. So we didn't blow anything up there. So let's try. Okay. I'm not sure that I'm just trying to think of the logic here. Again, I'm not sure. Because does that really help here with this issue? So what I can do is, again, I recursively look through the hierarchy until I find one of these. If man, this is a deeply frustrating problem for me right now. I mean, one option here is just to put it in myself. Because there's this visible flag here that just determines whether things are actually being drawn or not. So that is a way of knowing whether it blocks raycast, but it's not really sufficient. Right? Because you can be visible and you don't want to block raycast. That's a reasonable thing to do. I'm just trying to think what it would take to actually implement that accurately. Hey, thanks, Next Car. Well, we made good progress. We got those hex tiles rotated. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stick on here too. I can feel my frustration building, and like I should go for a bike ride and get some exercise. And I will probably maybe come up with an answer while I'm out riding my bike. But thanks for joining. Much appreciated. Yeah, the UI object can be disabled. And that does work. What I want to leave, the reason I'm not just going to that, which is how I had done it before, is just trying to allow for more, a little bit more flexibility with transitions. Say having it kind of fade in, fade out, which is how I've been doing a lot of it. And yeah, this one's really frustrating me actually. So I'd like a nice clean solution. I mean, to be honest, right? Like this, all these checks in here, these are horrible. And actually, I might just go. I might just revert that because I don't want to be breaking things. Yeah, I'm going to revert that. Yeah, I thought I was thinking about fading in and then disabling, but the problem, I mean, which works, right? Because the transition is just, half a second or something. So that's not that big of a deal. And that certainly could. I mean, and that could be a solution to do this. Yeah, I mean, one of the upsides to Nova is that I've got the source code here. So if I do want to add in something like blocks raycast, that is a doable thing. It's like I need to do a reverse hierarchy search. Like I need to search the parents first. Because if I have this ignore raycast, if I look for that and find it, then I skip my parent. So maybe, is it possible that I just don't need that? that my flaw is I might need to go back here and add some other bits and pieces, but that using that visible Boolean as a way of detecting clicks or not may not be the way to do. Well, no, then I bet you I'm going to miss all kinds of other clicks now. I still can't click on it. Oh, partially because I got rid of. Son of a. Yeah, everything's blocked. Which brings up so that brings up another interesting point. And again, maybe turning these things off is the way to go. But there's downsides to having things turn on and off. So one of the things that goes on here is that I have these little animations play, and I can see over here. I can see here that to keep things on top, I'm changing the order in the hierarchy. You can see the hierarchy changing. Oh, of course, close turns it off because they're still in that old system. But here, when I'm moving around, I'm still triggering all those calls. Yeah, I could always clean it up later for sure. I'm just trying to think about so like if I add in this blocks raycast to the UI block itself, which isn't a bad thing to do. And then so let's think about that. If because I put that on all the UI blocks, if I then need to search through all of the hierarchy. Okay, so if I have overlapping things and I get UI, the list of UI I get from both objects, and I go through the hierarchy of each object, and I eventually find one that says don't block ray or ignore raycasts, and we continue with all those, and then I get to one. My brain's getting tired. I'm trying to think because I need to search for I need to know if I hit something. And that sucks to have to like Every time you click on anything you click on, you have to search the entire hierarchy. Constantly get, and for everything in that hierarchy, you have to get all of it, you get a component on all of its parents. So you can potentially call and get component, 10 or 20 times in a frame, which seems less than ideal. Yeah, no, I think taking a break here. Taking a break's a good idea here. There's just got to be a better way to do this. There's just got to be a simpler way to. I mean, certainly turning the object off is a simpler way to do this. Well, what's interesting to me too is that I haven't run into this. I haven't run into this because I haven't had a full screen UI. And actually, have I just like full on? What is going on? Why are you not off? What the hell's going on? Oh. And I guess the other thing that's lingering in the back of my head is like, okay, this is my only so far full screen UI. Is this a problem elsewhere? And maybe it's not because of the way the UI is set up, but it does make me wonder. Makes me wonder a little bit. Hey, no, William, don't. Yeah, you're the one that made the post on Discord. Yeah, this has been on their GitHub for a while, and they have a solution. Yeah. Send me your workaround. Absolutely. I'd love to see your solution to this. I'm going too deep into the weeds here. I mean, maybe the issue is I just haven't. I know there's definitely a couple issues here, and I'm trying to balance them all, figuring out not only how to get this working, but also what's an optimal solution here. So definitely an issue is that I'm triggering code on all of those upgrades when I move my mouse around. That's a big problem. That's a really big problem. Well, not a really big problem, but it's something I don't want to be doing. I'm just wondering if that's happening. Yeah, see, I'm turning off the interactable. So that's how I'm getting around that. Let's try something really quick and dirty here. Let's see if I can. All right, open window. This game object get components in children interactable for each. Why are you doing that? HX enabled equals false. Okay, we're gonna try. I do need to go take a break, but maybe actually here we want to turn those on. Maybe this gives me a clue as how to do this. Maybe I'm just being an idiot. Like I have my UI working, and right, one of the dangers is when you're taking old code node prototypes is that you're, rather than starting fresh, I've got some issues here, and so I'm not necessarily fixing those. I'm continuing on with them. So let's see here. I open this window, I close this window. It's not blocking, and I'm not doing my UI thing. Okay, I think I have it. I think I may have just been being dumb, if we're honest here. Where is that button? Open tech tree button. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want you to go to the tech tree and open window. I do still wish that there was a like ignore raycast thing. Okay. And that is what their interactable sort of does, and maybe I just... Okay, my close button probably doesn't work, so let's fix that. All right, so that is working now. I can open this up. I still have this dumb issue of like clipping, but we can fix that now. We can get rid of that. Maybe. Huh, that's a weird one. That's, yes. I wonder if that would happen in a build too, or if that might just be a editor thing. Be worth testing. All right, close. That's great. Works. Let's see. How do you send me a C# script? Let's see what's the easiest way for you to do that. You can send it to me at, I probably won't have time to pull it up here during the stream necessarily, but if you'd like, you can send it to, you can email it. So you can go in the description down below, there'll be a link to a Discord server. You're welcome to join there and post it. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, you can send me an email at support@onewheelstudio.com. Okay. That is not the way I really want to do that, but... All right, we're getting rid of that thing. Okay, so toggling the interactables, that works. Should have known that. should have been in my head. I find that that's a clumsy thing with Nova. I wish they had a. I wish there was a nicer way to do that. But it's kind of what I'm doing anyways. So that, I mean, that is the solution. So no, William, don't, if you haven't, definitely take a look at your solution. Maybe yours is a more clever way, because getting all the interactables on all the children is not ideal if you have a big something or other. But that is working. I have discovered that. I will probably have to discover it a couple more times. That is just annoying. Well, I wanted to make this look prettier today, and I didn't. We did manage to get that rotated. We got all those hexagons rotated. I'm pretty happy with that. I think they're a little too, maybe not too far apart. Definitely got some coloring issues going on. I wanted to make this pretty, but we didn't get that far. We did get them rotated. That was a big issue. And for better or worse, we did get this working. I wonder, oh, does it actually? I wonder if it does. We got to freeze the camera when that's open. That's funny. Awesome. Hey, yeah, thanks for posting that. I'll take a look at that. I will take a look at that. I think I'm going to take a break here, go for a bike ride, get some exercise. It is sort of a sunny day. And I lost my tech tree. There it is. I wonder why it's doing this. Yeah, there's some weird math going on. Yeah, there's some part of that clip mask that's doing something that's unintuitive. Anyways, yeah, a blindsided oath. Thanks, thanks for joining. Thanks for figuring out, for finding the channel. No, William, don't. I'll definitely check yours out as well. And anybody else that's watching, thanks for joining. Here this time, most weeks, not every week, but Thursday afternoon's my time. I usually take a couple hours here to stream some stuff, so I appreciate it. Hopefully future streams will be a little bit more productive than this, but I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we did make some progress, but not what I'd hoped for. So that is the way it is. But anyways, thank you guys for joining. Hope to see you guys next week.